Hey, what's up, everyone? This is the watch list video for Wednesday, May 11th. Pretty interesting day today in that the market gapped up. This is the daily chart of the SPY. We had that, I'll take today's candle out, but we had that kind of nasty close. And then today, a comforting gap up to newer traders who've never seen ugliness and thought, okay, finally, buying the dip worked. And then let's switch to intraday. By the way, the market's still open for another 18 minutes. I've got something I got to do this afternoon, so I have to crank out the video early, right? So it's not hanging over me till and then have to do it at like midnight. I hate doing that. So anyway, there's the intraday on the SPY. There's the gap up. Went out and took out yesterday's low at some point. Then we look like we're going to take out the high of day, and I said something in chat like what feels like a short-term bottom in the SPY. I don't know. With 17 minutes left, and if we close near the lows, I've been saying all day, there's going to be a lot of people that are probably a little distraught after that gap up this morning and then close near the lows. We close right here. It still feels kind of ugly, right? Because we had the gap up. Anyway, it's a little weird making the video before the market closes, but I have to. So BWV, I think it was Jared BI in chat, kind of pointed out. All right, these are 5-minute candles, so it was heading up to like maybe 540. Pointed out a big bid, I think at 525, which drew my attention to BWV, and I said, you know what, I like this. Back through the half, back through 550, a second mouse with the earlier high above, and it's a recent high flyer, and yesterday's high above that. It actually did go up and take out yesterday's high at one point, but my idea was right there, second mouse through 550, and again, nice kind of alert by Jared BI in our chat room. So that was one of the highlights from today. I didn't trade very much because for those of you that were in chat today, you know that this was one of those days, and I think I even said it before the market opens. I think I said the SPY sells off. Maybe I'm flashed back into yesterday. I'm not sure, but I said this could be one of those days to watch those intraday 30s bounces on the bounce play watch list. And CRWD would have been nice, but none of us saw the 30s entry, so kind of annoying. I'm mad at myself when I miss stuff like that. But that's what happens when the overall market, and I'll go back to the SPY daily, when the overall market's really ugly, you get a lot of stocks that are really ugly, and then I put them on bounce watch, and then when you get kind of this big reversal in the overall market to, intraday reversal back to the upside, you get the same thing with a lot of stocks. I don't want to buy a high of day break on a bounce play that's run, a pretty big move from the low of day to get to the high of day. So that's why I like to shift and look for those 30-minute candle setups when the overall market is acting like it is right now. Anyway, having said all that, what are we watching for tomorrow? BHC. I'm actually putting this on long watch. It looked like this into earnings, and I had it on bounce watch, and then the earnings was a gap down, and I blew it. I mean, I called this as in pre-market. I said this is one to watch for on the long side for with the downside shape into earnings, and then the gap down. Oftentimes that gap down is fadeable, if you will. This is an errant tick, by the way. It didn't actually go all the way up here, so you go to maybe 2-minute candles, you can kind of see it was a decent break of the opening 5-minute high, but I didn't get it. And it was probably my favorite idea going into the open, so that happens sometimes. But anyway, I want to watch it as a potential long because I still think it's done to the downside and pretty nice relative strength today on an intraday basis. So we're going to watch that one tomorrow for a potential long. CRWD goes back on the list because we did bounce nicely today. I'm not in love with it, but I'm going to see if the market has any strength tomorrow. I'm going to watch that for a continuation of today's intraday bounce. Kind of the same thing with SeaWorld, SEAS. Did bounce off that 55 area I talked about. Right now it's kind of right about where it opened, but that's long watch if there's any strength in the market tomorrow. AHCO, pretty big move on big volume, great relative strength. We're going to watch that one tomorrow. CYN, still holding up really well. Although it's been running for like at least 3 days in a row, so it makes me like it less, but I'm going to put it on a chart. APPN, look at the volume there. Nice relative volume for the stock. And so far, again, there's 14 minutes left now. So far, looking like a pretty strong close, right? So we're going to watch that one tomorrow. Redbox, I don't know if this deserves to be on watch. RDBX. It is down in the buy zone after this big 2-day move. I am going to put it on bounce watch. Let me see, though. Today, it actually did go up a little bit ago and take out the early high, afternoon high of day breaking, got slapped right back down. You know what? I am going to contradict myself. and take that off the list. It's just not, well, it'll be the biggest mover tomorrow. Whenever I take something off the list, it's always the biggest mover the next day. So FRPT did get a nice bounce today. I'm going to put it on potential long watch tomorrow if there's any strength in the market, because a lot of these are really overdone, and one intraday bounce could lead to a second day on some of these, right? So that's why that's on watch. Remember, I make my money between the bells. I do not hold overnight, so all these are stocks that may give me a setup tomorrow. TNDM goes back on bounce watch. It's been on bounce watch for a couple days. Haven't got a setup in it, so I just keep it on the list. Tupperware, TUP, same thing. It's just decimated, looking for a snapback bounce. TTWO is Take-Two Interactive. I'd like to see a flush of 100 tomorrow, and then it would become interesting to me. Let me pan out here. Yeah, I mean, look at this way back. I don't even know. This was March of 2020. So that's when the world was ending. It bounced nicely off 100, and it's almost straight down to get there. Excuse me, Video Game Maker. So I'm interested in watching TTWO tomorrow for a bounce. Coin, COIN, is Coinbase. I think somebody posted in chat they have earnings after the bell, though, so that might make this, I don't know, like not even worth watching tomorrow, depending on what it does on earnings. But right now, I like it as a bounce play. Airbnb goes on bounce watch, just maybe overdone to the downside. That's Airbnb. And then lastly, AFRM, which has just been ever since this day here. Well, really ever since back here, but got decimated on this day, and now is rolling over again. But it's like down 4 or 5 days in a row. Big volume today, and closing maybe, we'll see, closing about where it opens. I'm going to put AFRM on bounce watch. I mean, just as recently as 5 days ago, this was like $32, and now it's in the 18s. So that's it. We'll add gappers to the list in the pre-market as well. And it looks like the SPY is I'm gonna guess maybe it's gonna close right around 400. 400 has been an important level for it the last couple of days. All right. Anyway, I'm done babbling. I'll see you guys in the chat room in the morning.